Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Black Clover chapter 291. Before I get into this week's review, I of course have to mention my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. So if you're already a fan of my videos and you're not subscribed, you might as well help me reach that goal. The other thing is my Patreon. If you want to help support me and the channel directly, or you want to get access to some solo leveling and omniscient reader reviews, you can always become a patron. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. That out of the way, let's get on with the review. This week's chapter picks up pretty much right where we ended off last chapter. Right after Asta defeated Lilima, we see them, disintegrating into dust or whatever, which means they're super definitely dead. Noct congratulates Asta on his victory, and Asta says that Noct reminds him a lot of Yami. And funnily enough, Noct agrees that looking at Yami reminds him a lot of who he used to be. I think that's what he's saying here. Because, Asta is really not a lot like the old Noct. Noct was an asshole. Yami was kind of an asshole too, so that would make more sense. And we see here the actual repercussions of Asta using Devil Union is that his muscles are really sore. Like, his whole body is feeling excruciating pain as a result of sort of the recoil of using Devil Union, which I guess makes sense because it's stupidly powerful, so it would make sense that using something like that would have a toll on his body. And we have an actual cooldown timer. We've got 30 minutes until he can use his Devil Union or even Black Mode. So for the next 30 minutes, if Asta's going to be doing anything, it's just going to be base form Asta. So as a lot of people have been saying, that's probably going to give us some time for the other characters to, sort of do stuff. But in this case, Noct says that they're going to have to try and defeat the Dark Triad before the next level of the Clypha unlocks. So I assume that means we're going to be going back to seeing how everyone's faring off against each member of the Triad. I know that was what we were doing before the Clypha opened, and presumably, well, either they'll defeat the Dark Triad or most of the Dark Triad before the next layer opens up, or they'll be in the middle of fighting them again and it'll open, I don't know. So I think now we're going to be going back to seeing which groups are fighting each member of the Dark Triad, and we're going to be having the reinforcements showing up and supporting each person or group of people that's fighting each member of the Triad. So the first group we're going back to in this chapter is Dante and Jack. So Jack's super awesome severing magic is really not working on Dante anymore. Now that he's at 100% devil power, is just not really doing shit anymore. So he's just kind of laughing at Jack, congratulating him, thanking him for entertaining him, and saying that he's going to kill him, and Jack not really giving a shit because it's Jack. But then a fireball explodes in Dante's face, and we see that Magna and Zora are here. Fucking finally. These guys haven't done anything since the time skip, basically. So they're here, and they're gonna try and fight Dante. And Dante's like, fuck off. Get out of here. Like, you guys are fodder. You're not gonna fucking fight me. And Magna keeps insisting, like, we're gonna fight you. Don't worry about it. So Dante brings up that even if people have lower level magic than him, they can still entertain him, but there's nothing unique about Magna's magic. Like, he just has fire magic pretty much, so there's not really anything entertaining he can do for Dante. It's like, well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep throwing fireballs that don't do anything to me? Come on. Like, let's be real here. You're not gonna do shit. So Dante, releases a bunch of his fucking Reiatsu or whatever, and Magna gets kind of scared, as you would, and we get a little bit of a flashback to him training with Zora to complete this new spell that he's using, because Magna understands that he's pretty much the weakest member of the Black Bulls. He's not very useful, or, he's among the weakest members of the Black Bulls, especially when you compare him to, like, Asta and Noct and Yami. and even Noel. Like, he's not really that great. So he's really needed to increase his power, because he can't, like, give up on not getting stronger, because it's going to keep bothering him. It will never leave his mind how weak he is in comparison to the others. So he can't go back to the rest of the Black Bulls, because he's just going to be, like, festering in his own self-hatred and self-pity about how useless he is. So he can't go back to them like that. He needs to get stronger so that he can go back to them. And since that's in the past, it's very clear that he's managed to do that. So we see Magna's new spell is this fiery Ghost Rider chain that leaves a rune on the chest of the people it's connected to. So he throws it. He throws a fireball at Dante, connects the chain to his chest, and then connects the other end of the chain to his own chest. And then we see that Dante's 100% devil power deactivates. Not fully. I think he's at 50% devil power now, if I'm correctly understanding how this ability works. So this new spell forcibly decreased Dante's power, and then Magna went in with some fiery brass knuckles and just fucking clocks Dante in the side of the face. So this is the introduction of Secret Flame Magic Soul Chain Deathmatch. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, Magna connects himself to another person, they combine their magic together, and then split it in half equally among them. So, that's really fucking strong. So that means if Magna fights someone way fucking stronger than him, he can make that person weaker, but then also make himself way stronger. And as you can imagine, against someone as stupidly strong as Dante, I mean, Dante is probably like, oh god, maybe like top 5. The dude is broken. He's fucking unkillable, and gravity magic you'll die. If you're not like some kind of insane person like Yami, or you don't have a way to just nullify gravity magic like Asta does, you'll fucking die. That's what happens when someone has the ability to throw black holes at you. So the fact that he's able to reduce Dante's power by half is like, holy shit, that's really helpful. And if Magna is now presumably as strong as Dante, that is a massive power boost for him. So do I think this plan is going to work out? Fuck no. I think there is more to fighting than just sheer magical power. Gravity magic will still probably fuck Magna up a lot. Or he can use body magic if he's forced to. I know Dante is very prideful, doesn't like using body magic because it's ugly. I mean, it is. And Magna is a peasant, so he's going to be really resistant to, like, actually try fighting Magna. But I think he's going to have to swallow his pride at some point, and he's going to be like, get the fuck out of here, kid. And things are going to get bad. And then probably Zora's going to step in at some point, and then we'll see what happens. I assume we're going to have to get the Asta and Dante rematch. I feel like a lot of the people that have been fighting Dante since have just been shown, like, hey, other people can kind of keep up with Dante, but they're not going to beat Dante. You need anti-magic to beat Dante. So I think Asta's going to be getting his rematch with him sometime soon. And then probably, assuming that they don't continue this fight in the next chapter, we're going to be seeing who's going to be joining up to face off against Vanica and Xenon. I'm not sure who exactly that would be, but, you know, we'll find out. Unfortunately, of course, Golden Week is this week, so we're not getting another chapter for 2 weeks. What can you do about it? So we'll just have to see what happens then. So, if you enjoyed this review, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Black Clover chapter reviews every week. If you enjoy other series such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Record of Ragnarok, Kengan Omega, and Kaiju number 8, I do videos on those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Black Clover with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. Since it's the end of the video, it's time to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons, Archbear CJ2K, Fuse, Neo, Tyrese Simmons, Dijon Redden, Honey Mustard, Zach Rowitz, K God, Holly Walker, Angel Does It, Chris Redfield, Brendan Lee, and Scratch23. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon, and if you too want to get a shout out at the end of videos or access to solo leveling and omniscient reader reviews, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching, I'll see you guys around, take care.